PlayStation deserves to fail. And I'm not saying this in the sense of, oh, Nintendo's so much better, oh, Xbox is so much better, and they deserve everything, that console or this, that, whatever. No. The sheer way that PlayStation is consistently, constantly, repeatedly mismanaged is unforgivable, and it should not be allowed to keep going like that. All it's going to do, if we let that keep happening, is poison the industry. It's going to poison them. It's going to poison the video game industry and make everything worse. Because think back. When PlayStation first came about, Sony first released the PlayStation, as many of you might know, because they were working with Nintendo on the SNES CD, and then Nintendo ditched Sony for Philips. It never came out. That's why we have Hotel Mario. And Sony, out of pure spite, released a PlayStation. And that was pretty good. PlayStation sold over 100 million units. Then they followed up the PlayStation 2. Best-selling console of all time, over 150, 160 million. I don't know. They probably found like another 3 million in someone's closet, so they're always updating that one. PlayStation 3, cell architecture, it was hard, but they still end up selling about 80 million. That just barely edged out the Xbox 360. PlayStation 4, pretty good. PlayStation 5, and we all see what's going on now. What happened? This company that gave us, that gave us, consoles with CD players, DVD players, that gave us multiple generations of backwards compatibility built in, that gave us The Last of Us, Tomb Raider, all these series and games. In what world does it make any sort of sense to then turn around and go, oh, you know what? No, we're not going to do discs anymore. What? What the fuck? And it's one thing, sure, make a digital-only console, whatever. I personally don't see the reason for it, but I'm sure that there's use cases, there's markets for it, so not the end of the world. But to completely get rid of physical games, are you fucking stupid? What do you gain from that? What happens to people in countries or areas that have poor internet connection, What happens to someone, in the middle of fucking Nebraska or South Dakota? Their connection's not going to be that good. They're going to be on, Spectrum that goes down every other day. And, suddenly they can't use their fucking PlayStation 4 or 5. Well, no. They're still going to make discs for 4, I'd say. I hope. But, suddenly you can't use your PlayStation 5 because you can't connect to the internet anymore. Can't check licenses for all your games. Fuck you. It's insane. I'm not acting like the other companies are innocent here. Everyone shut down online games when they're not performing well enough. Nintendo does Nintendo things all the time. Xbox, they're trying. They're trying. And they also have a digital-only console. But digital-only as a form of anything is absurd. It's like streaming services. Because back in the 2000s, Netflix came roaring and was like, hey, subscribe to us so you don't have to do cable anymore. And they went to the investors like, if we do this long enough, then we can take over and we can kick out cable. We can beat the legacy providers and we can take it all for ourselves. And you know what? They've been doing that. But then, instead of just staying like that, they got competition. 10 years ago, you had what? Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll. That's it. And Stan in Australia. And Prime Video. 5. 4, 3. 3 of which with major market appeal. And now, just off the top of my head, Tubi, Freevee, YouTube TV, Disney Plus, Hotstar, fucking, it's insane. HBO Max, Showtime. Well, Showtime's always been one of those, but you get the point. Everything has its own streaming service. So nothing you want is on any platform you want. Right? Like, I watch a lot of Family Guy. And which means I'd have to watch it on Hulu because that's the only thing that has it. Luckily, I don't have to pay for Hulu because I have a student Spotify which gives me Hulu for free. But I can't watch anywhere else. And that's insane to me because for like 10 years, whenever my family would get Chinese food, we'd always boot up the Wii, open up the Netflix app on the Wii, and we'd watch it on there. We would watch the same episode of Family Guy, and then there were fewer. Part 1 and 2, depending on what service you're on, they kind of split up sometimes. Point being, we would watch that every single time on Netflix. And now suddenly, oh no, Fox is owned by Disney now, and Disney owns Hulu, so it's only on Hulu now. Oh, but if you do HBO Max with Hulu, or Hulu with HBO Max, and you get access to this part of this library and that part. Oh, but this show's leaving to go to this other service. And it's insane. So, what's the goal of making everything with games digital only? Is it going to start being like that? Is it going to start being where you have these different companies and it's just rights passing back and forth and back and forth? Because I can see that happening. I don't think that that's an impossible thing to go down, where instead of companies are just publishing their games, it's going to be a constant fight between Xbox, Microsoft with Xbox, Sony with PlayStation, and Nintendo, where it's like, no, okay, I'm buying the rights to this game, so now you can only play it on my hardware. Oh, no, now they own the rights, so now you can only play it over there. Oh, this game, don't worry, it'll always be over here. Except for this one, which is over there because one of the other developers sold the rights to someone else. It's insane. I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand. What is the argument? And they've tried. Sony has gone and said, "Oh, we're doing this for the consumers because they want it." No, they don't. Literally everyone is telling you, we don't fucking want this. Except for the dumbasses who seem to think that it's going to be like using a normal disc to play the game, which, no. Like, I saw someone on Twitter being like, because one of the arguments is that with digital games, once the game's delisted, those companies can just revoke the license from your system no matter what. Like, right now, if you bought a game, 10 years ago on PlayStation 3 on the store, there's a chance. Boot up now. Oh, nope, license expired. Fuck you. You can't use it anymore. Sorry. Better luck next time. No, but you don't get a refund. No, of course not. No, fuck you. Ew. Right? Is that what we're trying to have happen? It already happens, but they're like, oh, we're doing this for the consumers. No, you're fucking not. You're just not. The consumers everywhere are telling you, no, we don't fucking want this. Except, again, like the asshole I was saying before, that was like, oh, you're acting like CDs aren't the same thing. No, they're not. And I don't know why that guy thought that the company can just come in and take your CD or your DVD or Blu-ray disc or whatever the game's on. It's just not how that works. But it's astounding. Do you know the reason why they're doing that? The actual reason. Of course they're not going to say. The reason that they're doing that is because that's what the investors want. The investors, always the investors. And you can you can thank Dodge for that. The car company Dodge? Yeah. Because in the early 1900s, when Ford was, fucking Henry Ford was doing his bullshit, the Dodge brothers sued him because he wanted to do something and them as investors wanted to do something else. And the Michigan Supreme Court ruled that shareholder profits come first. And that is the mindset that every single business in the U.S. operates under. So you can thank them for that. But the consumers are very pointed, like very clearly, directly telling them, no, we do not want this. This is harmful to us. And the company is just lying directly to their faces and saying, oh no, you do want this. This isn't because... No, it's not the investors making us do this. No, you want this. You're lying to us. You don't know what you're talking about because you're fucking stupid and you're going to buy whatever we tell you to. And you know what? They're right. Because think about it. Genuinely, how many people after this happens are going to stop buying PlayStation products? How many people that this affects, that this is going to cause to lose games or to not be able to play their own games anymore? How many of those people do you really think are going to turn around and go to Xbox or go to Nintendo? A very small percentage. Because people have no spine. And as long as the company is not actively coming in and shooting them in the head, they're just going to keep buying the product. So Sony knows they can do it because they know nobody's going to do anything. Of course, I don't usually use Sony products. You know, if you can tell by that over there, got a lot of Nintendo shit. A lot of Nintendo shit. So that's not something I really have to worry about. But in general, it's insane. And unfortunately, nothing's going to happen. They're going to do it. People are going to decry it. They're going to complain, this, that. But those same people, if they do use Sony products, they're going to keep using them. Because who wants to invest in a new ecosystem? Who wants to pay $600 for, you know, whatever the hell they do after the Xbox Series X when you can just do another PlayStation? It's useless.